Okay guys, welcome to this tutorial. Today we're gonna see three different techniques for laser cutting and fabrication. The idea is you get to know and to be able to do finger joints, so we can assemble 3D stuff, hinges, so we can make, for example, covers or doors, move, for example, like this. I'm gonna show you. Let me. I'm gonna do the center of this object and move it, such as like this. Yeah. So then it will hit over there, and then I can move it all the way back. Okay. Like a door or a cover for a box element. And also at the end we will see something that is called flexible patterns, in the way that we can make a surface, a 2D surface, into something that is 3D by making a special pattern that removes material from the stock. Okay, so starting, we'll see, we'll make a box, and then we'll do the finger joints, and then we'll be moving how to make this hinge, and later this other example. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to I'm gonna move all this away, and I'm gonna make a box starting at 0 with a diameter, distance, the first distance of 100 and a second distance of 60, and a height of 3, because we're working in a stock of 3 millimeters. Okay, so imagine that this is MDF, and we're working with 3 millimeters. And then what I would like to do is to make the sides, yeah, like this one and another one. So I'm gonna make a copy, pressing Alt, and then we're gonna move it around in 90 degrees. I'm gonna move it to the corner, either with move or manually, and you'll see that it's over there. I want this height to be 60 or 57 actually, or less actually, 54, because I want to leave the total height in 60. Okay, so if I write down distance, I click here, and you will see that the distance is 63. So what I will do is take down this face a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to be able to see the isocurves, I'm gonna grab everything, explode, and join, and then you will see that here I have these isocurves that will show me my surfaces. I'm gonna click on Ctrl Alt, Ctrl Shift. Ctrl Shift allows me to select different pieces of an object. I can select the edges, I can select the faces, and so on. So in this case I will just select the face, click in this arrow, and write down -6. So now with my distance, okay, I write down distance, I measure from here to here, sorry, from this end to this end. You will see that my number is 57 millimeters. Also, this user interface is a little bit different from Mac, but from the Mac interface, but the main concept is all the same. So of course there are many ways to do this kind of work, but if you want to follow my steps, you can do, or you can do your own way. Okay, that's it, and we're gonna continue doing this piece. Okay, so I already have this piece, I have the bottom piece. I would like to mirror this to the other side, so I'm gonna write mirror, select my plane, and then with shift I can do some orthogonal movements, click on the other side. So then I have my two sides, and I want to do my front, so I'm gonna make another box starting from this point, and I know that this distance has to be 3, so I want to write down 3, and then my second distance is going to be up to here, and my third distance is up to here. Okay, Now I have my bottom, my sides, and my front, and I will copy this to the back. Okay, with mirror from this point to that point. Now I have almost my closed box. Okay, so I want to do these joints. Let's check on that. I'm gonna make another box, and I'm gonna make it from this position over here. I'm gonna tell him that the first distance is 20. The second distance is gonna be 3 because I'm using the stock of 3. So you have to imagine that this is up to here only, and my height is gonna be 3 as well. Okay. So then I'm gonna have that box, and for you to be able to recognize it easily, I'm gonna make it in another color from another layer, and I'm gonna move this to midpoint to midpoint. Okay, write down move. Now select this midpoint, move it to that midpoint. You see that that is there, and then I'm gonna copy this one with Alt. Click on the red arrow, write down any number that you wish. This time I will use 30, and I'm gonna copy this one to the other side with mirror, and then I have these 3 pieces. Yeah, very similar to that. Okay. So what I have to do right now is I have to do this same process to the other pieces of the box. So I can either select this piece, Alt, Shift, and or Alt actually first, then Shift. You will see that this will turn and copy, move it upwards, then towards this place. If I cannot find it manually, I can also write down move and move it from midpoint to midpoint, depending on what I want to where do I want to place it. Okay. Okay, so now I now have that piece. I have these pieces on here. What I would like to do, because I want to do this many times, I just click here, write down mirror, copy to the other side from the center point, do the same with the bottom, and now I'm gonna copy this to the other side, select these two, okay, and we are just missing the bottom piece. So I'm gonna take the same piece here, copy with Alt, Shift for orthogonal, move it downwards and more or less to the middle, or you can also again write down move from midpoint to midpoint. Yeah, great. Now we're missing this in the other side, so we select it, mirror, and push it to the other side. Yeah, make that. Okay, now we have to do is that all of these faces, they have to either own one of these joints, or they have to be deleted. Okay, so for example, in this case, this is the smaller face. This face is going to own all the joints. So I'm going to select this face, press down on Shift, select this face, this box, and this box here, and I'm going to do a booleanUnion. You see? And now for you to be able to see it better, I'm going to change the color to another layer, and let's say I want to do gold. Okay, I'm going to select this piece and move it to gold. You see there? And I would like to delete these joints from the gold piece. Okay, so I'm going to select this piece, I'm going to go to my booleanDifference and select my second piece. Be sure that delete input is no, otherwise you're gonna delete the face, which we don't want. And then I'm gonna click OK, and you will see that the bottom piece will look like that. Yeah, great. So we're gonna do the same with the other ones. Okay, so I'm gonna select this piece, booleanDifference, or you can select later, booleanDifference this one with this one. Now my bottom piece is like that, my side piece is like that. Yeah, great. So we're gonna do the same with this piece. We're gonna select this one, select the joints, booleanUnion. You see it change colors. This one I'm gonna do a booleanDifference with this face. Yeah. Now my bottom piece looks like that. Great. So you follow that process, you will end with something that will look like this, for example, and you will have pieces that have their own the cutouts and the pieces that have the teeth or the fingers. Okay, so this is called a finger joint. When I complete this process, I can assemble the full box without any glue if there's enough tolerance. Okay. So let's go and follow the process of doing a hinge like that one. Okay. So I'm gonna put all of this in the same color for it to be simpler. And what I have to think of is in this concept that I have to move the top piece, and that top piece shouldn't fall. It should rotate from this point, so it will be able to close and rotate to the back, so it looks like a finished box. It's quite simple, but making this hinge requires some idea of how to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna move this to the side. I'm gonna make a cover up here. So I'm gonna make another box starting from this point, moving to the other side, and my height is gonna be 3 millimeters because we are using a 3 millimeter stock. Okay, so now I have this cover. I know that I need to push it a little bit outside, otherwise I won't be able to do that hinge. And what I will do is I'm gonna push this side, this surface to the outside. So I'm gonna select my piece, explode it and join it again, and then I'm gonna Ctrl Shift this face, click on the red arrow and write down, in this case I will say, let's say 20, might be too much. Yeah, let's do 15. So the distance from this corner to the end is gonna be 15. Okay. Then what I will do is I will draw a hinge. Okay, over here. So I'll go to my front view. Yeah, I'm gonna say that I need a circle over here that has to be it has to be bigger than 3 millimeters. So I'll say in this case it will be 5 millimeters. I will place it in a distance enough for the piece to be able to rotate. This can be by eyeball. And then I'm gonna do an offset of this curve of 3 millimeters. So I'm gonna do another circle that is an offset of the first one. This is because we need some strength in the hinge. If I do less than 2 millimeters, it might break very easily. Okay. So I'm gonna change this from color. I have that over there, and then I'm going to draw a polyline. It is important that in this case you select project, so the whole polyline stuff, everything is gonna be looking at in the construction plane. That might be the end plane. You will see. So if I draw from here, I will draw a polyline to up here, for example, and then I will draw another polyline from here to here, something that will look like that. You see? Then I'm gonna select my curves and I'm gonna write down trim, and I'm gonna delete the pieces that I don't want. It will look something like that. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna join then the curves, change the color, and I'm gonna close this curve. Okay. So I'm gonna select a polyline and I'm gonna click from here to here. Then again join. Now that I have this, what I can do is an extrude curve. So I can make this curve a solid. Okay. So for you to have a better idea, my curve is sitting over there. I'm gonna write down extrude curve CRV, and I'm gonna extrude 3 millimeters. Okay. So I'm gonna select write down 3 and enter, and you will see that this curve will become a solid. Remember that when I'm doing an extrusion like this, I have to select both curves, extrude curve, and then up here, or in the case of Mac, you will see in the left, you have to be sure that the extrusion is solid, okay? And we're going to write down 3, and you will see that this will become something solid. Okay, does it look nice? Yes, it does. Then I need to cut out a little bit this top. So what I will do is very simple. I will make a cube from this corner. I'm going to unselect project again. From this corner, I'm going to make a cube that is long enough, but it has to be 3 millimeters only in width. So I'm going to say, for example, length is going to be 30, width is going to be, or the second length is going to be 3, and the height can be bigger, like 10, for example. So from this top, I'm going to select it. Excuse me. I'm going to select it and then use booleanDifference to delete this extrusion. Okay. So now you will see that I have made this cut over here. Then if I go to this front view, I will see that I will need to add something here in it to be able for the top to rotate. So what I would do is make another box, and this can be like a perfect cube by 3 by 3 by 3. It can be something longer. It depends on the hinge. But for this exercise, it's going to be something simple. So I'm going to make a 3 by 3 by 3 box, and then I'm going to move it to the left -1.5, so it will be centered in the middle. Then you will see that this box is over there. I'm going to put it inside and probably scale it a little bit, so I have a little bit of a bigger distance for it to not to fall or to break. Okay. Once it's ready, I'm going to select it, select the top, and add the booleanUnion. Yeah. So now, if you imagine, if I have both hinges in both sides, I will be able to lift this top, and I will be able to rotate from this axis. But I don't want to do this again. So what I will do, very simple, I'm going to make this cover, and I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to make a mirror of it. Okay. So I'm going to select it, go to my top view, cut it from this midpoint, cut it like that with a curve, select my object, select split, select the curve, and cut. Okay. And then I'm going to have this piece over there, and what I would like to do is to mirror this to the other side from any plane over there. Then select both pieces and join them, and finally select my hinge and mirror it again and copy it to the other side. Yeah. So then we are ready with that. Quite simple, fast, and efficient. So last part is also to make this piece a complete form with the hinge. So I'm going to select both pieces, I'm going to select booleanUnion, and you will see that this will look something like that. Yeah. So when the laser cutter cuts this, it will cut this side with the hinge included. Okay. So I'll go back, and I'll do the same to the other side, booleanUnion, and you will see that this piece now will be able to rotate. If I can do a simulation, let's say rotate from this center point over here. It should be able to rotate like that. Yeah. So it would stop there, and it will go all the way back. This is very good to have an idea of how it will work. If I want the top to stop, like over here for example, I'll have to make a simulation that will go like follows. I will rotate this again, and look to my side view here, my front view, select the center point, and again from here, and I select to copy this just to have, so I don't lose the first one. Copy it over there, and I'm gonna take this piece, this face, and I have to move it back a little bit more. Yeah. So it's like doing this, for example. If I do this and that, and I push it more, you will see that if I rotate this, it will probably show me that it's gonna touch the back of the box. In that way, it will be able to stop, like so. Yeah. So then the cover doesn't fall back, and it will stop over there. Okay. So lastly, we want to make something like this, for example. We want to make something that flexes, where we can do boxes like this, or books like this as well. There are many different types of flexible patterns. They all move in different directions, but I haven't found one that moves in all directions possible. So you can even make lamps, or like this drawing over here, you can make some kind of a necklace. Chairs as well, they look pretty nice. You see here that the material is trying to expand. So the only problem that this kind of patterns have is they are very fragile and might break if you move them too much. Okay, so to do something like that, we need to find a pattern that we like, and this is one of the most traditional ones. And to do something like that, you will see it here. It's very simple. So we have one line, and then we have another line. Yeah. What we like to do here, for us not to make this for like many times by hand, what we'll do, for example, is I'm gonna make a rectangle like so. Then I'm gonna make a line that measures 10, for example. Then I'm gonna click there, and I have this line. Then I'm gonna make a copy of this line to the bottom or to the top, if you wish, of 1.5 millimeters, and then move it to the side 5 millimeters. So I'll have something like that. And if you imagine this as an array, so if I copy this many times to the right and many times to the bottom, I will have that pattern. So it's very simple. Now I'll write down array, numbers to the x. It can be, I don't know, say 4 times to x, 10 times to y, and only 1 time to z, because we're working in 2D. Okay, I'm gonna click in this end, and then I'm gonna push it by hand, and I'm gonna make an estimate idea of how far it should go. So click, you will see that that happens, and enter will make it. So I can put this in different places, and let's say I'm going to change the color of this. You will see that these lines are going out, but I can select the main piece, click on trim, or actually select everything, click on trim, and delete the pieces that are not going to be cut. That way we can also save some power and time in the laser cut. At the end, this kind of piece will look something like so, like something like that. So I can make books with these live flexible hinges. Yeah, there are many of this kind of stuff in the market, and it's not that hard to make. Yeah? And if I have a bigger piece, which I want to make flexible, but this pattern is too small, because at the end the laser cutter, what it does, it makes a cut of 0.2 millimeters approximately when it passes. So if the laser passes through this line, it will cut this, it will evaporate all this wood, yeah? So at the end, it will remove material, and that will allow the object to flex. You want to make something bigger, you just make, instead of lines, you make squares, you know, like or rectangles. So I can make a rectangle like that, and I can make the same pattern here. So yeah, very simple. That will be it. Thank you for watching, and we will follow with other commands that will help you make these pieces into a 2D curve like this, so we can later laser cut. Okay, so enjoy, have fun.